Providence, Rhode Island. Lost design invention. Resurfaces. The Higgins Gink Nobulator. 160 years later. By A.B. Marcus. Providence, Rhode Island, an 1860s creativity machine from 333 Waterman Street is shaking up today's design world. A strange piece of Providence history has returned to the spotlight, and it's causing a stir among designers, futurists, and AI thinkers. On April 10, 1865, Dr. Gregory J. Higgins, a reclusive inventor tucked away in Providence's Richmond Square inside the old factory building at 333 Waterman Street, unveiled a prototype device he claimed could measure and magnify meticulous, magnificent, magnanimous imagination ideas. 2025 HG Higgins Gink Nobulator 21st Century Update. The machine's name, the Higgins Gink Nobulator, pronounced. Originally intended as a tool to analyze early creative thought, the device malfunctioned during a full power test and instead began producing fully formed design storylines, eerily predicting future innovations, designers, and creative breakthroughs that hadn't yet occurred. In one surviving notebook, Higgins wrote, "These stories are not predictions, they are messages. They point toward the writer who will complete them." Initials A. Today, many see a connection to PVD's own A.B. Marcus, creator of design adventure stories, whose work mirrors the imaginative patterns the machine once produced. The Higgins Gink Nobulator feels less like a relic and more like a prototype of the world we're entering now. And with the latest updated 21st century prototype, it is sure to create innovation in a new way. Providence, the creative capital of New England, once again proves itself a place where creativity, technology, and astounding, ambitious, adaptable myths converge. Tragically, Dr. Higgins was taken too soon when he died in the notorious Richmond Switch RI train accident of April 19, 1873, known today as Wood River Junction, Rhode Island. The horrific accident cut short a brilliant mind whose machine was only beginning to reveal its purpose. After Dr. Higgins' sudden death, the Gink Nobulator prototype was quietly seized among his estate items, mislabeled in the confusion, and sold at auction in 1874. The buyer, a British intermediary, shipped it overseas in a sturdy walnut crate stamped. Experimental optic chronoanalyzer handle with care. Arrival in England. The trail picks up in Kent County, England, where, according to a surviving family story, the crate arrived unexpectedly at a small shopkeeper's residence. No one in the household knew why they had been chosen to receive it, only that the shipping papers referenced an American scientific curiosity for educational enrichment. Inside the home was a young boy with a shattered leg, bedridden for months after a fall on a gravel embankment. His name was Herbert George, the son of the shopkeeper and a lady's maid. To distract him from the pain, his father placed the mysterious device beside the bed, along with new books to keep his mind active. But it was the machine that held the boy's attention. The Higgins Gink Nobulator, odd even by Victorian standards, was packed with concave lenses, shimmering filaments, and 10 intricately marked brass knobs. It hummed faintly at night, the way an idea hums before it arrives. Sometimes it flickered, as if catching thoughts not yet formed. Little Herbert George swore that when he drifted between sleep and waking, the Gink Nobulator spilled fragments of worlds that did not yet exist. Cities of glass and iron. Creatures evolving beyond the edge of possibility. Machines that folded time. Visitors from distant planets. Invisible forces waiting to be named. The boy couldn't explain it. He simply began writing. He loved the ideas the Higgins Gink Nobulator created so much that from then on he would sign all of his stories using only his initials, HG. And so was born the birth of a new genre. And of course, within 2 decades, the world was introduced to the new science fiction writings of the Time Machine, The War of the Worlds, The Invisible Man, The First Men in the Moon. Stories that felt less like inventions and more like transmissions, continuations of patterns Dr. Higgins had begun charting at 333 Waterman Street, Providence, Rhode Island years earlier. Some now say H.G. Wells didn't invent science fiction. They say Providence, Rhode Island exported it. Then this odd device in 1886 surfaced mysteriously, with no shipping invoice, inside a locked cabinet in the research reading room of the University of Edinburgh, capital of Scotland. A young medical student, Arthur C., found it. He was not yet a doctor. He was not yet a name. He was a restless 27-year-old medical student who spent more time imagining cases than studying anatomy. One rainy afternoon, seeking distraction from his coursework, Arthur opened the ornate cabinet. Inside, wrapped in fraying 1860s Providence linen, sat the Higgins Gink Nobulator, brass dials, mirrored arcs, and a small etched plate reading. H.G. Providence, Rhode Island, 1865. Arthur, curious, skeptical, and predisposed to experiments, touched one of the machine's polished thought mirrors. It swiftly began to glow green and hum. The air tightened in the room. A pattern of deductive possibilities spiraled across his mind like a constellation popping, snapping. Each idea was so sure, each lock into place with a complete storyline that came to him without ever leaving home. And so that evening he wrote in his personal notebook 2 words for the first time: Sherlock Holmes. Later he joked privately with his friend and writer H.G. Wells that the Higgins Ginknobulator was a muse disguised as instrumentation. Wells, delighted, nicknamed it the Imaginiferous Colony's engine, as he called it. The two would meet in secret, tinkering, speculating, and wondering what Providence had been up to in the 1860s to produce such a device. But the Higgins Ginknobulator would not remain abroad forever. On the first day of spring, March 20th, 1963, according to a customs form, it returned to the United States a gift from England to President John F. Kennedy. Destination: Hammersmith Farm, Newport, Rhode Island, known as JFK's Springtime and Summer White House. Since then, it has remained on American soil, resurfacing only in whispers, odd bursts of unexpected innovation, and the occasional unexplained leap in Rhode Island's creative output. Some say it is still here. Some say it's still measuring and magnifying imagination. Some say its hum can be heard only by those who are already building worlds. But all agree on one thing: the Higgins Ginknobulator story is far from over. This fantastic, captivating, candid, calculating machine has never been publicly displayed. Yet moments of sudden innovation in Providence, unexpected breakthroughs, artistic surges, strange coincidences are often accompanied by whispers that the device has awakened again, such as in 2009 when Providence, the capital city of Rhode Island, along with the new Innovation and Design District, was christened the official creative capital of New England by then two-term Mayor David Cicilline. Some believe the device still works. It hums, maybe in a basement, an attic, or even an abandoned mill. Some say it seeks out a person with the initials AB to continue to tell the design adventure stories along with people of certain clever, celebrated creative sparks. And some insist it is the reason Providence continues to punch above its weight in design, creativity, and innovation. Now you know, as they say, the rest of the story. Providence's lost invention, the machine that quietly is still changing the world. The end.